some cost. I like a 456, maybe not in blue and not in auto. I think the guide on that is £45,000 to £55,000. A lot of anyone's money, especially for a 456, but it does look wonderful. A modern Mustang in here, not quite sure what it's doing in a classic car auction, and also not quite sure why it's inside. I'm not sure I'd choose it to be special enough, I suppose. You don't see too many pre-war classics in historics, but there are a couple normally, or a few more than a couple sometimes. Here's a couple of those just coming up. They're kind of hidden away in the corner. How well they'll do is anyone's guess, but they all are quite sweet in their own way. Always a lot of 911s. Here's a 964 Carrera 2. One of those cars that will make a lot more money than perhaps it should. This Rolls-Royce Corniche convertible is quite tatty, to be honest. It's also got an LPG conversion in the back. It isn't the car I would take home out of any of the Rolls-Royces here. You're going to see the Esprit GT3 coming up in just a moment, which was apparently used as a daily driver at one point. Here's that slightly faded 308, a car that is absolutely begging to be used and enjoyed, I would say. Rather than being mollycoddled, just like this Esprit, they should be used and driven and enjoyed. I think this Esprit is on 96 or something thousand miles. A little Porsche 356 coming up as well, and then we will head back through the cars and downstairs. I really quite like a 356. They're such a pretty car. Apparently not that enjoyable to drive compared to performance cars that you may be used to, but a very, very pretty little thing. And maybe driving pleasure isn't all of it. Maybe it's just okay to enjoy a nice looking car sometimes and enjoy driving one. So we're about to head downstairs and you're going to see even more wacky cars, including a drivable pool table, which the Hustler, you may have seen, or if you're of a certain age, definitely will have seen, this kind of wild modified cars, or not even modified, just these creations from a certain period in time that we really don't quite get like this anymore. And it is a really wacky thing, wonderful to see, as is this one. And apparently there's going to be quite a few people from all over the world flying in to see these cars and hopefully take them home with them. They're a real part of car culture, a piece of history, and maybe still an inspiration if they can be seen again. I believe this SL63 is very low mileage. I didn't look at the details, but this 600